Hey everybody, Jake here from Bearded Gear, and I've got a box to open. So if you've read the title and description or seen the thumbnail of this video, you'll know that this is a Rogers Slim Utility, aka the Slut. Makes me like the knife even more that it's already got a funny nickname before getting to me. I like fun nicknames for knives. So this is an OEM version of a Rogers. I think typical, he does them as customs. And I've just kind of seen them popping up here and there for the last little while. It wasn't super on my radar until recently. It wasn't like on my hit list or anything, even though I was seeing some people speak highly of them. I always thought it looked cool and that it was an interesting little knife. But recently I just, for some reason, kind of got the itch to try one out. And it was interesting, the timing of it, because my buddy Bob, the old man himself, I'll link to his Instagram down below, he's who I got this from. He's in a group chat with me and a few other dudes on Instagram. We talk a lot. Every day we're talking in there. And Bob was the person who wanted my Chavez Blackout 229 Ultramar more than anybody else in the world. And he was, I think, the first person, I don't know, I might have it messed up, and maybe now Chris is going to be mad, but I think Bob was the first person to say, if you decide to let it go, I've got dibs. Although there was an outpouring of people who wanted to be first in line for that knife. Anyway, Bob picked this up the other day, and he shared it in the group chat, look at my new knife kind of thing. And I had finished my review of the Chavez. I'd carried it a couple of times after that, and I loved that knife, really did. But the nature of the hunt for new knives, for me, means letting go of knives that I love a lot. So, long story short, I said, Bob, I know you want the Chavez. If you're willing to trade for that slut, I'll do it. And he was like, no problem. So he only had this knife for like a few minutes before all of a sudden it was boxed back up and on its way to me, which I feel kind of bad about. But I know that he wanted Death Skull, the Chavez. That's what my daughter named it. Even more than he wanted this. So I think it worked out for both of us. Anyway, again, I will link to Bob's Instagram down below. He does awesome like written reviews of knives, and he takes really great photos, and he's just a cool dude. Everyone needs an old man in their life. So it sounds a little weird, but it came out of my mouth nonetheless. All right, let's bust into here, see what we're working with. So I wasn't overly familiar with this knife in terms of like where it was made. I've never owned any other Rogers knives, so I've just kind of done a little bit of research over the last couple of days in preparation for getting here, and it turns out they're manufactured by Bestech. This OEM version of the knife is, I should say, and that's cool with me because I've had a number of knives made by Bestech that are quite good, so it doesn't bother me at all. And yeah, I guess that's kind of all I really know about it, is where it's made. But I also found there's not very many videos on YouTube, at least that I saw, surface level, of this knife yet. So that's kind of cool. Hopefully this illuminates this knife for some other people. What I don't know yet is how many of these were made. I know that they're few and far between at the moment because secondary prices on these are pretty wacky. They were, I think, $250 new. And I want to say they've been going for more like $450, $500 now. Just kind of crazy. Luckily, I was able to trade into it, and it worked out for me. But it's kind of bananas that they're that much. So hopefully that's a good sign. It means it's really good, and not just that it's really limited. But again, I don't know how many of these are made. I don't know if there's going to be more batches or more runs or how it's going to work. But I'll probably find out. Maybe someone in the comments can illuminate it for us as well. Anyway, it's a nice box. Rogers design on there. It's looks like it's a magnet one. Yep, magnet clasp here. So it does come in nice packaging. In here there's a little Rogers design sticker. Let me actually show that. Pretty cool. And a little patch. So that's pretty sweet. Comes with a patch and a sticker. I think from what Bob said, these typically also ship from Rogers with a little packet of jelly beans. Those are not in here, which is fine. I don't necessarily need jelly beans with my knife, but I thought that was kind of funny. Oh, it's in a black baggie. I was like, I don't remember this knife being black, but it's in a little... Oh, it's in the microfiber cloth in here. Talking's hard sometimes. All right, so in here we have the knife in this little, oh, that's pretty sweet. Alright, so it's got a little microfiber on here. I don't know if this came from the knife or if that's from somebody else. Anyway, this is pretty freaking sweet. So you can see there's a lot of milling on the handle. These lines feel really nice in person. The hardware is blue with kind of a tinge of purple. It goes to the backspacer / lanyard hole as well, and then on the clip too. You'll see that the deployment method, kind of Vero style, not that I'm saying Vero invented it, but it's the only other knife I've had that has it like this. It's this like milled in pocket on both sides, so that's pretty sweet. I know on his customs, I shouldn't say no, I think I've seen that on his customs, a lot of the time they don't have a clip on them at all. And I think on these, let me confirm this. Yeah, it looks like it. So under the foam in this packaging, look, you can see there's kind of something down in there. There should be some screws that you can take the clip off. Yeah, you can take the clip off and just put these screws in, and then you've got a clipless knife, and it also comes with this leather little slip. So I imagine if you ran it clipless, you might toss it in this slip. I want to say I've seen somebody also put it in even with the clip on. See how that works. Oh yeah, it still fits just fine with the clip on it. It's a really nice little leather slip pouch thing. Obviously the slip you would just kind of toss in your pocket or something. There's no clip on this slip, which is fine with me. I'm not a big fan of having a slip to then use the slip to clip something in my pocket. It just seems counterintuitive to me. Like if you're going to go clipless, just go clipless. Anyway, so it comes with that and those screws down in the bottom of the box, which is awesome. Put this kind of back together here. Alright, so here's a note from Bob, but I'm going to read that off camera because I think it's just from Bob to me. Alright, so yeah, this is going to be a liner lock, milled titanium frames. The milling on this is really nice in person. I knew I liked the look of it in photos, but the way this handle is kind of textured with this milling, it's really sweet. It feels cool. I think it looks really good. So let's see how it middle finger flicks. Okay. Not bad for doing it vertically in front of a camera. Yeah, that works. Ooh. I was worried this was going to feel smaller because everyone keeps saying this knife is tiny, and it's very small. Don't get me wrong. Now someone's going to watch my video and think it's bigger than it is. But I was worried it was going to feel like too small in hand. It doesn't. It feels like I just barely get all 4 fingers on here, right? But it's comfortable. And it's really slim. Obviously it's called the slim utility, right? So it's very slim. It is milled out internally as well. And then you've just got that nice little liner lock nested in the lock side. But that is sweet. That's got to be a titanium liner lock because it's anodized just like the hardware in the clip. It all matches perfectly. This is really sweet. I like how slim it is. I like that it's a nice slim blade stock as well. It's got a good edge on it. Bestech has been impressing me this last little while. The Vero knives that I've handled from them, I've had an A. Purvis progeny from them that was really nice. They seem to be making some really good, compelling stuff these days. This is cool. So yeah, on the blade, you see it says Rogers Design on this side, M390 steel marking right there. I'm fine with this being M390. That's cool with me. And this show side is all sterile, which I really like. I think this knife just looks really cool. It's a good looking knife. Looks aren't everything, but they help. The clip design is cool too. It's like it sits on some kind of barrel spacers, basically. I'm curious to see how it functions and how it works. This is my knife now. I'm going to be carrying it, using it a little bit. And this is perfect secondary size because I still get full 4-finger grip on it, which I like. That's definitely my preference, is to have a whole knife to hold on to, right? And then it's got enough blade length that I think this is going to do well for all of my kind of secondary knife cutting tasks. It's just so slim. I imagine it's going to carry like a dream, and it's light too. So, very cool. Let's see if I can thumb deploy it. Yeah, that works. It's interesting, just using like a groove there for it, but oh, that was bad. Yeah, if I use my fingernail, that works really well to middle finger flick it. Of course, that one didn't go good for me. There we go. What's interesting is, if you look closely in the milled pocket, there's like these milled lines in there as well, which I think is why my fingernail is kind of the way to go. It's kind of catching on those lines and just, yeah, that works. Cool. So, we'll be doing a first impressions and ultimately a full review, but it's out of the box. It's mine now. I'm stoked about it. I hope that I end up liking it as much as I liked the Chavez, because I really, really liked that Chavez a lot. And sometimes it's a little scary trading a knife you love for one you're not sure about, but this is nice. This is really cool. Alright, well, thank you guys for watching. Again, I'll link to my buddy Bob's Instagram down below. Really cool dude. If you're into knives, you'll probably like his Instagram. And he shares really good opinions, and he's a well thought out dude. So yeah, check him out if you haven't. And I will see you all on the next one. Thanks, guys.